13, our 2 drama teachers at my school did something amazing. They decided that everyone in my year had to write and perform a monologue to the rest of their class, which is a terrifying exercise. And we could do anything we wanted. Like, it could be comedic, silly, slapstick even. But my God, we went dark. And we went dark hard. The boys, they were okay at it. Like, they were okay. Like, every boy in my year pretended to be a drug addict on the back of a motorcycle, which was just like a classroom chair. They turned around and they were like, oh my God, I'm just so addicted to smack. And it's like, okay, George, your mum shops at Waitrose, you're fine. The girls, so much worse. We'd read Jacqueline Wilson. We knew what we were doing. One girl in my year, incredible, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a wife who had just murdered her ex-husband, wiping the blood off her hands. Another girl, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be an evacuee child, lost at a station during World War II. Amazing. My friend, age 12, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a 6-year-old, writing a letter to her daddy, who had just died in 9/11. Her dad worked in the Domino's in town. We saw him all the time. He'd never been to America. You know what she got? Full marks. Now, there was one thing all my classmates' monologues had in common. They were dramatic, sure. But you knew they weren't true. Because they were set in a different time zone or they were playing a different age. And I cannot make this clear enough that my monologue was not true. But my God, did I try and make it plausible. Because I wrote a monologue, written by me, directed by the Helen Bauer School of Drama at home. She had to be involved, she had to. About a 13-year-old girl who was being sexually abused by her dad. I wore my own pajamas that I ripped myself at the crotch for extra marks. I got an A. Thank you. And I cannot make this clear enough, because this is truly the message of the show. My dad has never hugged me, let alone fucked me. Are we clear? He's a lovely man! He's a lovely man, is Michael Bauer, a good man! I hate that in my show all I do is whinge about my mum. I feel like society at large, like blame the mother, nothing on the dad. But seriously, my dad, genuinely, so inconsequential. Just have one of those dads. I don't even call my dad dad, no sad reason there. It's just if I'm on a street like calling out, Dad! Dad, Dad, Dad! Every dad ever will turn around. Random people will turn around. Children, dogs. I get nothing until I'm like, Michael Bauer! And he's like, oh, hi, Helen, do you want to go Bella Italia, or? It's his entire vibe. He's had 3 jobs in his entire life, 3. First, he was a dustbin man, loved it, why wouldn't he? He thrived. Second, lawn mower at Chessington World of Adventures. In his words, it was more of a zoo then. I don't know why that's important. But out of everything in the show, that's one thing he wants to be clear. And currently he works in sewage, because your business is our business. We're number 1 with your number 2s. He's disgusting, okay? I just don't understand him. My dad and me are so different. I spend my entire life projecting how I want people to see me. He doesn't care at all. He has no control. He has no control and no self-awareness. 'Tis a bad mix. I'll give you an example. You know how everyone in the world has one anecdote that they think really sums them up? Like an anecdote about a time they were an incredibly adventurous person, an incredibly generous person. My dad has one of these anecdotes that he loves telling people. I'm going to tell you what his anecdote is, and you just tell me what you get from it. Because he thinks it's a story about the time he was an incredible water engineer. So the story goes, Dad, this one time, I was in the shower and I shit myself. Question 1, if you're in a bathroom and you shit yourself anywhere other than the toilet, what the hell is happening with you? In his defense, he does always make it clear he was mad desperate, so I get it, accidents happen. Like, I'm not gonna be a bitch about it, right? So he's in the shower and he shits himself. And he looks down at the shit, you gotta look, right? Looks down and goes, oh. Can't leave a shit in the shower. So he uses his brain and he mashes it down with his big toe through the drain. He thinks that is the story of a time he was an engineer. That is the story of the time you waffle-stomped your way to glory and nothing else. Also, question 2, if you were that desperate, the shit should come out as liquid. The fact it was solid enough, a toe got involved. The man made a choice. If I had done that, I would take it to my grave. No one would ever hear that story. But he's telling everyone, could you imagine being that vulnerable with people? To openly tell them that in conversation? For me, if I want to open up to someone, I just drop it into conversations, like little hints, like they'll be like, oh, like, how are you? And I'll be like, oh, I'm good. And like, how are you? And they're like, I'm good. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. But like, I'm gonna go because I think I'm gonna kill myself. And they're like, oh my